Hey, how you doing? Good afternoon. Welcome to another time here at the book club. What we got to do in Sunday afternoons. We're presently reading our sixth book in the series, which is The Good Life by Marc Waldinger and Robert Waldinger and Marc Schulz. The Good Life. That's our sixth book in the series. And we're presently reading in chapter 4. We started chapter 4 last week. There's going to be our second reading into chapter 4. The title of chapter 4 is Social Fitness, Our Ability to Create and Maintain Relationships. That's what it is, to be socially fit. It's like we talk about physical fitness, mental fitness, emotional fitness, spiritual fitness. We're talking about social fitness. Our flexibility, our agility, to be able to our efficacy, in a social setting, such that we can create relationships and we can also we can create and maintain relationships, so we're learning how to be socially fit, how to be able to control our social life. So that's what we're on to. That's what we're doing. So we're going to go ahead and read the second part in that chapter today. So I typically would do, I'm going to bring up my slide here. Those on Instagram Live, you won't get to see the slides. There's no provision on Instagram Live to do that. But on Facebook Live and on Facebook Live and on YouTube, you get to see the slides. So let me bring up my slides here and we'll take it from there. So you can see my slide here on Facebook Live and you'll see it on YouTube also. And pretty much it's the book we're on is A Good Life, like I shared earlier on. And those are the two authors that you see there showing, Robert Waldinger and Marc Schulz. Right. And it's a book that captures 85 plus years study, through adult development, just a study of adult development, how to get the best out of adult development, what makes for a proper, life-giving, rewarding, happy, healthy, adult life with longevity, and that's all they've studied. And pretty much the conclusion of the book, conclusion of the study is that it's relationship, having the right and quality relationship, in different areas of our life, having that vibrancy in a social setting would help to make your life healthier, happier, longer. You will get both the width and the length in life, And so that's what we're going to be doing today. And we'll probably have 3 more Sundays or more to go through chapter 4 before we go on to chapter 5. So this is the second part of talking about social fitness today. And what we're going to focus on today is just about taking stock of our relationships, seeing where we are and things that can help us, in being socially fit, things we might need to look at, that would help us in the direction, in the line of being socially fit, as it were, the dumbbells, the weights, the exercise, the exercise that we need to do that would help in our gaining social fitness. And one of that is we nurturing positivity. When we are negative, we would tend not to be poised in the right position, to be socially fit. If we're also to be socially fit, it helps that we're positive persons. First of all, then we have something other people want to give them. And we also are able to receive the same from other people. Like attracts like. When we're positive, we attract positive into our life. When we're negative, we attract negativity into our life. Negativity does not make for connection. Positivity does, right? And one of the ways we get being positive in our life, nurturing positivity in our life, is to surround ourselves with individuals, that exude positivity, and bring joy to our life. When we attract ourselves to people that have positivity, that are growth minded, that are positive minded, that are solution minded, it excites us, as it were. It exercises our relationship muscles. There are people that it elevates us and makes us want to relate more. When you relate to people that are negative, it depletes us, and it's almost like we regret ever relating with them. We're not encouraged to relate more. But when we relate with people that are positive, people that feel us, it makes us want to relate more. Whereas if we're exercising our relationship muscles, right, thereby we're getting better and more social fitness. So it helps also to invest time and energy in building and sustaining such relationship, that matter most to us, So we need to such relationship, but also there are relationships that matter most to us, that they might be negative at this point in time, but because they matter to us, we want to move them from being negative to positivity, and therefore we want to work on those relationships. Obviously, you want to work on relationship with your spouse if you're married. You want to work on relationship with your children if you have children. You want to work on relationship with your parents if you have parents that are still alive. You want to work on relationship with your siblings. You probably want to work on a relationship with your boss and people that work for you. You want to work on relationship with those that you worship with. Those you do things that are important in your life, that you have regarded as important, that you have to meet with them. You want those relationships to be life-giving and not the relationship that depletes you, so that some relationship that you need to work on to move them from wherever they are to make them better, right? Make them better. And by making them better, you're working on your relationship muscles. You are becoming more social fit, So another thing, talking about nurturing positivity in our life, is to practice gratitude, right? The more we complaints drain us. Gratitude fills us up. It's like someone once said, there are two ways to look at life: one as a miracle, and maybe and others as just an ordinary occurrence. But if we see everything as a miracle, it fuels us every day. It gives us the desire, the wantingness to live another day. Scripturally, we would say this is a day that the Lord has made. It's not just another day. It's a day that God has made. It's not a day that just came into existence of its own, but it's one that God has made. Therefore, God has packaged goodness in the day for me. You see, when you see your day as one that God has packaged for you, then you can give thanks. You can go out positive, wanting to make the best, have the best of that day. Have the best in your relationship, have the best from the people you meet. It's not a day the devil has made. It's not a day that has just come of its own accord, but it's a day that the Lord God has made. That's one way to see your day. That's one way to see your week. That's one way to see your month. That's one way to see your spouse. That's one way to see your children. That's one way to see your friends. That's one way to see the place that you work, and be grateful for it. And be grateful for it. Look at if you didn't have them. There are people that wish they had what you have, but they don't. But you do. When we are grateful for the small things, it helps our social fitness, our ability to relate with other people, because then we treasure those relationships, and we're going to it as people as wanting to give to other people, not necessarily to drain other people, and by that we exercise and increase our social fitness. Another thing that it helps us in social fitness and our relationship is we practice self-care. You take care of yourself. You know, you cannot love others if you don't love yourself. And others also, everybody wants something that will add to them. If you don't, will run away from you. People will be attracted to you. There's something you can add to their life. And for you to be able to add something to their life, you must have that thing to add to their life. You know, as much as you will get from them, people will be attracted only to people they see and they think can add something to their life. You know, so if you want people to be attracted to you, if you want relationship to be easy for you, you need to have something that people are craving for. You need to improve yourself, make yourself better. You know, when you make yourself better, when you increase yourself physically, you take care of your physical being, you increase yourself psychologically, intellectually, right? You increase yourself spiritually, you increase yourself emotionally, you know, then you have something to give. You have something that people will be attracted to you for. You know, therefore, creating relationship become easier. Maintaining relationship become easier because you are not a drag to people. You are someone that fills other people up, and therefore they are attracted to you because of the things they can get from you, but also you can get something from them also. You know, and the other part also is to live in the present moment. You know, not always talking about the past. The past is gone, right? Learn from it and move forward. Don't always live in the future. It's not yet here, right? What you can make the difference in is today. Make the best, be present in the present moment, and absorb all that you need to absorb, and invest all you need to invest in the present moment, because that's what's going to make a difference for the future that is yet to come. You know, people are not attracted to people that are not present, right? Because you can't connect to someone that is not present. Someone that's always lived in the past cannot connect to people in the today. Someone that's always lived in the future cannot connect to people in the day, into today. So to be able to make up relationship, create relationships, you know, and build, you need to be able to live in the moment that you find yourself, so you can be a blessing to other people and also be blessed by them also. You know, your person has to be present to receive the blessing of relationship, right? Also, another way by which we take stock of our relationship and build our social fitness is by having empathy and active listening. People, you know, when people are not listened to, they don't feel seen, they feel invisible. You know, and there are a lot of people like that. People are just wanting someone to recognize them, someone to listen to them, someone to hear them out, you know. And when you have someone that can listen to people, that can feel what they feel heard, they feel seen, you know, and they can easily open their heart for you, you know. So it makes it easy for you to create relationship and maintain relationship, you know, when you're someone that can feel other people's feeling, whether it's their joy, whether it's their pain, you know, and you can listen to them, hear them out. It's not about them hearing you, but you hearing them out. You know, they feel a sense of closeness. They feel a sense of intercourse. They feel a sense of connectedness, you know, when they are heard, you know, and that helps, you know, in having relationship, you know, with such people, you know. So it's a crucial part of social fitness. If you have the capacity to understand and empathize with people, you know, you're able to come to their level, you know, you're able to come to their level and be with them in that emotional bubble that they find themselves in, then they can open themselves even more to you. And that's how you're able to create and maintain such relationship. You know, if you, it's a place of demonstrating kindness, empathy, compassion, active listening, you know. All of that can fortify relationship and promote effective communication, you know. So pretty much it's being able to feel the way other people feel, you know, and be able to listen to them, hear them out. It's not about you, you know, always wanting to be heard, but also hearing other people. One thing that would not help you in being socially fit is always wanting to be heard, wanting to speak about my own. You have to also be able to listen to others, hear them, know where they are, and relate with them where they are. It's I believe is the second of I believe is a third habit, in Stephen Covey's 7 habits of highly effective people. It says, seek to understand before you are understood. Seek to hear people out before you are heard out, and that helps in the place of relationship. That helps in the place of building social fitness, that you are someone that hears people out and understand where they are and where they're coming from. And therefore you can then you can tag into that place and relate with them. And I love the book by Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie, talks about how to make friends, and everybody always feels that they're right. And for you to be able to connect with people, you have to come to where they are, agree with them where they are, then help them to come to where you are. But it's not where you are and forcing them to come to you. You have to be able to come to where they are, agree with them, give them a sense of psychological safety, and help them to move to where they don't have, or what they don't have, or where you are, but you can't move them to where you are until you've come down to where they are, so that helps. So also, one of the things also that helps is being able to embrace new relationship. It's not just about keeping the existing relationship that you have. You also have to be able to be open to embrace new relationship. It's probably easier to keep what you have, and more difficult to embrace new relationship and social experience. But if you're going to build your social fitness, you have to be ready to do that. Same way about like physical fitness, walking in the gym. If you're just doing the same old thing all the time, you're probably not going to build strength. You'll be able to go to the next level of your physical agility. Once you have found comfort where you are, it's probably time to step up the exercise, step up the reps, step up the weight, step up the exercise, the difficulty, so you can then build more weight, build more muscles. You can build more agility. You can have more toning of your body. And that's what new relationship does for us. It helps us to be socially fit. Whereby we become people that can break heights. In any place we find ourselves. Not just the places we've been. You go to a new city, you go to a new town, you're able to still relate with people there. You're not just someone that is only one that can relate with people from your village or your city or your town or your school, but you go to an entirely new place. You need to be able to break, even into those social setting. One of the ways you practice that, that helps you to be ready for such, is what you do in the little spheres that you find yourself, being able to make new relationship in every new place that you find yourself. Be able to relate to people that are probably completely out of your normal circle, and still be able to have the right social interaction, for the time or the intent for which you all are come together. But that comes by practice. It's not something that just is going to be. It comes by exercise. It comes by practice, right? You're going to become by practicing, by trying it out. You're going to fail sometimes, but you learn from your mistake and do better, right? But if you're always one that's always socially secluded, you won't be able to function, when you come to a new place, outside your comfort zone. You build muscles by stepping out of your comfort zone, right? And so being able to operate, when you go to a new place, you're just going to learn, but it's going to learn by practice. You're going to learn by doing it, right? And by that, you build your social fitness. Another thing that we get to do is working on those relationships that you're struggling with. It's not everybody that's easy to relate with. I can think of one person I was struggling with, but I'm through all of this, I'm learning also. I'm good in some area. My social fitness it's above average, I would say. But the areas in which I need to build, I need to grow also. So this is, like I say, this is a selfish intent. This is selfish adventure for me. As much as I'm doing this, on Facebook Live, I'm doing this on YouTube, hoping someone else is gonna pick something and learn. I'm learning here also. I'm the first student in all of this. I'm learning this. I'm learning this, and hopefully I'm hoping that to change my life and take me to the new level God will have me climb into, so I have some difficult relationship, the whole me will have just forgotten about them, and stay on my part, but I'm learning that life is not like that. Life is not about staying my part and being always right. I need to accept that sometimes I'm wrong, and still be able to not build walls, but build bridges, be able to find a way to relate with people that are not easy to relate, but do it without losing the sense of who I am. Right? Do it with still being me, but be able to have trade-offs that I can walk on. It doesn't have to always be my way or the highway. I can allow some trade-offs just to work on the relationship for the intent or purpose for the time that we are together. If we have to be together in a particular setting, then we need to find a way to work together, and that might take some trade-offs, so I'm learning and I'm doing well, I'll say, so be able to relate and put my ego aside, and be able to break some walls, break some either two things I've kept as walls and build bridges, so, and that by doing that, you build your social fitness, being able to work on those kind of relationships and just push your ego aside, and having a positive intent, believing, for positive intent of the person, and still protecting yourself in doing that also. Is not a place where you go through all your nerves out, again, you test the water with 1 foot at a time. You don't put 2 feet into the water. You need to find the floor with the first feet before you take your next feet into it, but you can work on some relationships that are not too ripe, but are important. I'm not saying you should go and chase after a relationship that are not important to you, but if it's important, if you have to be together for any reason, maybe you're walking together, yeah, in a church together, but something that's important to you brings you together, you need to make it work. I have two people working for me that used to typically fight, and I said, hey, even if you have to act it up, you have to learn to work together. I mean, after work, you don't have to talk to each other, but while you're working for me, you must work together. You must find a way to relate together in peace, right? And that's what they do at Disney. People that go to work at Disney, they don't have to be naturally people that make people happy, but they are paid to make people happy. For as long as that they're working at Disney, their job is to make people happy. So that doesn't have to be their natural tendency, but they are paid to do it. So even if it means they have to act it out, they have to make people happy. They have to adapt to what they are paid for, right? The same thing I see when I go to restaurants to eat. The host and the hostess, those that serve, they act the part of that job, right? They're not necessarily the same thing after they close the work. Don't expect them to do the same thing serving you. But while they're at that job, while they're on duty, right, they act the part. They do everything to make you happy for coming to that restaurant to eat. They're doing it partly for their tip, but partly also to keep the name and prestige of that restaurant. right? So we can do also in some of our relationship, you know, the struggling ones, we need to make it work, right? If they're important and we have to be in those places, we need to make it work, right? So, and that help our ability to make it work, you know, and that's when we talk about emotional intelligence. One who is emotionally intelligent is able to work those relationships, not just the convenient ones, but the inconvenient one, just to achieve the intended objective. Some people will call it politics, but call it whatever it is. But that takes emotional intelligence to love the unlovable, to love the person you don't even like, just to achieve the purpose, the intent for which you are pursuing, right? And in doing that, you become socially fit, right? Again, social fitness is our ability to create and to maintain relationships, right? And so, and this involves being open, honest communication, working together with people to find solutions to issues, you know, that come to part, that arise over time, you know. And the other part also that would help our social fitness is by giving back to the community, volunteering, right? If you're one that wants to have a relationship, you volunteer. It gives you an opportunity to give back to other people. You know, you are relating with them. You're not looking for anything, but you're just there giving, making other people happy. You know, so another way to build our ability to create and maintain relationship, just by volunteering, being there to help people, to sow back into the community, or to help any of the any place you can volunteer to help, you know, do things for free. You know, I get to volunteer in different places. But so in doing that, you're not forced to do it, but you're giving back. You're there with a sense of giving back. And in giving back, you're relating with people, and that helps you. It helps your emotional intelligence. It helps your social skills, you know, and you never know where that will help you, you know, when you need it. And I think that's the end of that. Just some points to reflect on. That's all we're going to stay on today, talking about social fitness. But just some points to reflect on is we don't always know why we do things, right? Why we don't always know why we do things, why we don't do things, and we may not understand what is holding us at a distance from people in our lives. You know, sometimes, and that's what we call the unconscious bias, right? Sometimes we don't know why we do things, why we don't do things, and we may not understand what's holding us back. It's just an unconscious bias. You know, sometimes there are people that we're attracted to. There are people that we're not attracted to. You know, it might be the way they look. It might be a particular odor or smell or something that's happened in your life, and this person is just reflecting that, you know, and you need to then bring your consciousness, possibly to address your unconscious bias, you know, to also as be able to break the genes of the relationship. That is, if that relationship is important to you. If it's not, there's no use putting your energy on things that are not important to you, you know. But if it is, if you have to be in that place, you know, you need to be able to override your unconscious bias, you know, and break and be able to break what is possibly holding you back, you know, from relating right, you know. So take some time to look in the mirror can help. Sometimes it takes some time to look in the mirror, you know, look back in your life, why you don't feel attracted to some people, you feel pushed away, if you don't, I mean, again, if you don't have to relate to people, if you don't have to be together, but if it's a place you have to be, it's important you are there, you spend time there. You need to be able to break the ice and relate to the people. You don't have to snub people. And you can do that, you know, you just need to find out in yourself what might be the reason why, you are not being attracted, or you feel drawn away from such people, and then you can manage it. Carl Jung would say that when the unconscious controls us, we think it's fate because we don't understand what's going on. It helps when we reflect, then we're able to then understand the unconscious, and we can take care and be master of that of the results that we get. Again, we have no excuse, right? We are the master of our fate. We're the master of our destiny. One of the way we do that function of being masters is understanding the unconscious that is trying to control us. What is the story? What is the recording? What's the programming in my person that's making me do things in one way or the other? Then I decide which way do I want to go. And then I begin to find out what is in me that is not making me go the way I want to go, then begin to make the right correction so that I can go the way I want to go. Because my unconscious will never be to blame. It will always be me to blame. I am the master of my fate, not my unconscious. I am the master of my fate. I am the master of my destiny. The result is up to me. I will have no excuse that it was my programming that made me do it. Right? I can always override my programming. That's why I need to find out why my programming is going one way or the other. And sometimes that comes by just reflecting, looking back, and finding out, why do I do what I do? Right? Sometimes there are needs inside of us that are looking for a voice, a way to get out. It might be, I had a relation divorce, a few years ago, and it was just not being able to be the master of something from our past, some unconscious, some recording in our consciousness that she did not master, and when we don't master the unconscious, it's going to direct our life in one way or the other. And it might just direct us in a way we don't want. So we need to take charge. We need to ask ourselves questions and take charge. It's not just because I feel like, then it is the right way. I must make excuses for my feel like. No, it's to me, what do I want to go? What destiny do I want? What fate do I want? Then begins to reorganize my unconsciousness and my consciousness to take me to where I want to go, right? No excuses in life. I am responsible, right? In closing, we just look at a few quotes here just to hopefully summarize all that we've shared today. And Marcus Aurelius talks about dwell on the beauty in life, dwell on the beauty in life, watch the stars and see yourself running with them. That's a way to build positivity. Again, when you're positive, you draw positive to yourself. A positive person is easier to make friends and to maintain relationships, right? And that drives, for Christians, Philippians 4:8, Bible says that, think on these things, think on the positive things, think of things that are of good report, things that are of praise, think about the miracles in life. Don't be looking at the sad part of life. Don't be looking at how things will not work. Think about how things will work. Think about how you will achieve. Think about how you get that promotion. Think about you getting that promotion, you having that child, you getting married. Think about you having a job. Think about you being rich. Think about you being able to pay your rent. Think about the things that you want. Think about the things that are praiseworthy, and you attract those things to yourself, right? Don't think about the things you don't want. Think about the things that you want. And the more that you do that, the more joy to bring to your life, and that the more people will want to come and get out of your joy, right? The second quote here from Jack Canfield talks about self-esteem is made up primarily of two things, right? Feeling lovable and feeling capable, right? When you have self-esteem, if you have a good measure of yourself, right, then you are feeling lovable. You're feeling that you are someone that others should want to love. That you are someone that is as that someone should desire. You are desirable. You are desirable. You know, we talked about self-care. You know, when you take care of yourself, then you price yourself rightly. You know, you are not one begging for love. You are one that you see yourself as someone that's a price for someone else to get, right? And you also feel capable to be able to love other people and relate with other people also. And that's going to help with social fitness, right? Rebecca Holt Donnell says that become your own soulmate, right? You know, when you love yourself, then you see yourself as someone that's worthy to be loved. You know, you want to share the person that you love with other people. So become your own soulmate, fall in love with yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, no one else will love you, right? Then you'll always have someone watching your back. You always have you. You would never be lonely if you love yourself. If you prize yourself, you always be with yourself. And you always have someone who loves you, right? You always love you, right? I can never get lonely, right? Because I love me and I'm always with me, right? I can live in solitude for the rest of my life because I love myself and I prize myself, right? But because I prize myself also, it's easier for me to relate with other people and maintain relationship, but I do prize myself, right? I'm not going to get into loneliness because I love myself and I love my own company, right? And lastly, you know, this from Happy Positivity, it says dreams, right? They start in your beautiful mind, right? Think of beautiful things and it will manifest into actions because your body will listen to you like it always does, right? What you think of will affect the whole of your being. It will affect your emotional status, your spiritual status, your social status, right? Your mind affects everything about you, you know, and that's why the ancients in Greek, you know, will put beautiful statues around pregnant women because they believe that what the woman sees affects the baby. It affects the woman and the baby the woman is carrying. The woman, it has a better tendency to give birth to a beautiful child if that woman is in the right psychological mindset. You know, they believe that, and they believe the raising beautiful generations to come. You know, and it worked for them, and it works. You know, we'll see that in the scriptures with Jacob. You know, putting that rod in front of those animals as they give birth, and they give birth according to what they saw, right? What we see affects what we feel, affects what we do, affects who we are, right? And that would help our social fitness. All right, that's all I got for today. I'm gonna stop here, and we'll continue next week. That's all I have for today. Next week we'll talk about loneliness. You know, what you get when you don't have when you're not socially fit. You know, then you're not able to relate, and you have loneliness. You know, knocking on your door, and you can't cure it. Loneliness is pretty much you not being able to create and maintain relationships, right? Because by doing that, you solve the hunger of loneliness. Loneliness is simply a hunger for social interactions. That's what loneliness is. And your ability to create and maintain relationship is a way by which you fill that gap, that hunger in your social being. And we'll talk more about that next week, God willing. All right, until then, do have a great remaining of today and have a great week ahead of you. God bless you. See you same time next week. Bye-bye.